It's a good morning to be here, and resoundingly we've had a very big turnout this morning. It's about democracy, it's about the rights of Alan Chastney and the rights of all solutions to defend against persons who have tried to abridge or infringe upon their civil liberties. And today we are satisfied with the turnout. We are satisfied with the number of persons who have shown their disgust towards the actions of the Speaker. And may freedom reign, may democracy reign in this country, and may the people of St. Lucia be finally free of this disgusting government called the St. Lucia Labour Party.
What happened today? Actually, you saw quite a number of people, and especially supporters of the United Workers' Party, come out and took that walk from the leader of the opposition's office to the Parliament building, and that signified our disgust with the way the government has been operating as far as our democracy is concerned, as far as trampling on our rights and freedoms, and we wanted to make a statement and take a stand to indicate to them that we are not going to allow them to destroy our democracy, take away our freedom, or be high-handed or abuse their powers. And so the position that we are taking is to make a statement to say to them that we will not roll over and accept it.
Simplicidade, levar special good night to all our viewers over there on our platform. This is Caribbean American News Network, the news you report. So we're here live in studio here in an undisclosed location, and we want to bring to you greetings, friends, greetings. If we cut off, it means that our motherboard or our graphic card might be giving us some issues, but we're here tonight and we're going to be with you. It's been a very busy few days for me, so I do apologize for those who I have not reached out to, respond to your messages in any way. We do apologize. We're here tonight and we're going to spend some time together. So I want to apologize for, there is static. Okay, so the audio is not clear. Okay, so let me just fix that and I will be back, all right? Just bear with us as we try to get the audio fixed. All right, let's try this again. We're not sure what is happening with our audio, but we will try our best to get it rectified. All right. Just bear with us, folks, as we try to get our audio up and running. Oh boy, we seems like we need some new stuff. Is that better? Let me know. All right, so we go back to the clip for a few minutes and we will be back.
We want justice! We want justice! We want justice! We want justice!
So we are back. I am hearing a little static. I am not sure what it is, but we're doing our best over here to give you the best experience tonight. Just bear with us, folks. Just bear with us. All right, we're trying to give you the best experience here. Bear with us. Right. Okay, so what is happening, and let me explain to you, is that our system seems to be having some issues with the audio, but we'll try to make it through. With this audio, will not allow it to get us all bent out of shape. Okay, because I need to get the calls in, so I will have to stay on that system. So we're going to be here tonight on that main platform. I'm going to take you back over to this clip, and then we'll get it together. Right, so I'm hearing the static, but let's see how we can, work with it for tonight. All right, so let's get to work, folks. We will listen to me. Everything is going to be all right with the system. It's a brand new mic. Whatever it is, I know we might have to do some upgrading with our. Before I get into trouble, Cooley James, good night to you too. Good night. And to all our listeners, I know it's irritating with what is happening here with our sound system. That's just the nature of the beast, Anytime you put your program together, you do expect to have this type of disturbance, all right? So we're here. Share the live, folks. Yes, my friends. Now, I am seeing the signs that our computer is going to fail at some point. I am seeing the signs of it, and so I want to keep praying that everything goes well. All right? I'm going to pray that all goes well and that we have no issues. Let me ensure that all other parts of the system, it is all clear. Yes, all clear, so that we will not have these type of issues on the platform. But what you're hearing, it's a failing system. Our computer main system is going out. We got to get another backup computer going forward. Wow. I can see it. I can look at the screen and I'm seeing what I'm seeing. But let's go forward, folks. A lot in the news. I'm hoping that you can tolerate. All right. Good. So let's get to work. It will settle in at some point throughout the night. Let's just monitor our other platforms to ensure that we're having the quality that we're needing. Yes, we're sending the right signal out to our platforms. It is just a failing main system here in our studio. All right, it's blinking. So let's see if we can get a good run from it tonight, a last run from it, and we will wait to see how we can update our our system. Folks, it's very costly to run these programs. We always have to have either a backup computer, a backup mic system it is very, very costly. And so when we come here and we give you our time, we hope that you can appreciate it by, keeping us in your prayer, giving us the support. Somebody coolly saying to get an apple. Well, I don't really like eating apples, I know you're talking about the Apple computer, but we will do what we got to do in order to get a stable system going forward. And that's why we encourage you, when you come onto the platform, that you use the star system. You can use the star system on the platform. All right, don't be afraid to use that star system. Now, to ease off on some of the pressure on our computer, I am going to be closing a majority of our programs here, deleting some. We have backup, but to save our visual art side of the computer, I will have to wipe stuff clean out so that you can have the best experience. And I'm telling you, we have work to do tonight, and we are going to get it done, whether the system, même si system la suge again, no kai this program no. All right, as soon as we upload it, we're going to just delete some of those things so that we can program clearly. All right, so bear with us, folks. Bear with us. Okay, so let's get to work. Today, we know that the United Workers' Party went out in large numbers. There is no official figures as yet, but they went out. You went out in large numbers, and you did something that caused some issues for a number of. Let me switch to a different studio. All right, so we're going to switch. It's going to take 2 seconds, in the blink of an eye, and we switch. Good. So we're going to stick to this screen, and we're going to move our graphics to save the program tonight. All right, so we went on to Studio A. We are on Studio A. So we're not sure of the official numbers as yet, but I have some jokes to give to you. While the march was going on, I took a lot of notes. I started writing most of the negative comments. Now, the Labour Party folks, supporters, went out of their minds, and I'm not sure why they did. I am still confused, but they went out of their mind, out of their soul, out of their body. They went out of everything. And it is sad. We must speak about it. We must address that problem. And we must address it urgently. Now, I did a program, I think this week, where I outlined to you an issue that I have in our society. And that is an issue where one side believe that they're the only side that have a voice and can speak. One side believe that they're the only ones that can protest, the only ones that know what democracy is all about, the only ones that can that can rule the country. And everybody else must be quiet and shut their mouth because we're in for 20 years. And that's the democracy that we enjoy, we want in a country. And so nobody is allowed to protest except we are the ones protesting. Very sad indeed. So I read a lot of the comments, and one that really caught my mind is that someone said that the protesters are Chasney's house slave. And I documented it. Because I just wanted to get a feel. So I spent a lot of time reading most of the negatives, because I know the majority of positive would come from the United Workers' Party. That's their protest. So I spend more time looking at the response from the opposition, the ruling government supporters. To my surprise, honest surprise, I am not sure if these people think before they speak. Most of you would see the blinking in our system, so that means our computer is going to fail sometime tonight. All right, it's getting worse. But let's talk. If it fails, then I will go on the cell phone and we'll have us talk, one-on-one talk outside of the studio. So just stay with us tonight. Nothing will interfere with our presentation tonight. All right. Although I have clips that are queued, you know, it is what it is. All right. Okay, good. So, number of crazy comments. Someone said, I wrote where one supporter said that the folks who are protesting are crazy pensioners. So basically a bunch of old people who are disgruntled because they're old and have nothing to do, so they're out there protesting when they should not be protesting. There is nothing to protest about because everything is going fine. Our St. Jude's Hospital is completed. The roads are okay. Our poor, they're doing fine. The supermarket prices are the best that they have ever been. Our fuel prices are good. The roads are good. Healthcare, good. Everything is good. So there is absolutely nothing for anybody to speak about, because our government is in power, so everything is good now. All that was bad is now good. So you have no right to speak against our government because all is well. So it's just a bunch of old people who are bored, who are house slaves, and have nothing to do. So here we have again the SLP supporters bringing in the race card once again. And not only the race card, they are bringing in the old card. So it is about race, it is about you being old and don't know what you're doing. You're a house slave. Do you know when you call somebody a house slave, what that is? It is racist. Racism to the highest level. So Shasta is nobody's massa. You have not enslaved anybody. So for you to see St. Lucians going out and using their democratic right, their constitutional right to go out in the streets and to petition the government, and all you can do as supporters of a party is to speak about race and to belittle elderlies and to call them names. And then the Prime Minister goes into the House. On his way in, he said, oh, these people are disgruntled because they lose. The citizens are disgruntled because they lose. I have a country to run. Those are his statements. I have a country to run. And those who are on the street out there with the opposition leader, they are disgruntled because they lose. Nothing else. Not because of bad health care. Not because some of them have lost their relatives during COVID-19 as a result of your actions. No, it's not because of that. It is not because of the St. Jude's Hospital, and we'll get into that, where you misled the people of St. Lucia to tell them that the project has re-begin when you knew that you had no funding source for the hospital, that you are now looking for funds for the hospital. So what you did, you found $1 million or whatever it was, and guess what you did? You went to power wash outside the hospital and to fence the outside, to tell the people, to fool them, to make them believe that there is major construction going on, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, when there is no money for any phase. Nothing at all, and I will expose it tonight. I had the information a while, but I refused to put it out, and I allow you to allow the tourism minister from Saudi Arabia to land in St. Lucia so that the people of St. Lucia can see that you have been misleading them, you have been lying to them basically when it comes to the construction at St. Jude's. No wonder you wanted them to lock me up. No wonder you made up stories that I jumped fence when you know very well that there was no fence to be jumped at the new St. Jude's site. You know that. And we saw pictures lately where there is still no fence at the new St. Jude's. It's an open space. There is not even a secure door on the side to prevent goats from going in. You know fully well. And I don't know if because you all knew the foreign minister was coming in from Saudi Arabia that you had trucks to go and dump dirt all around the new project to show that it's an active site. But you never told us that you have your hands out in every country begging, please help us build our hospital. Please help us. Please, we beg you. Please give us something. We never knew that because you never told us that. You told us that you had found the money, that you have identified the funds, and the project will re-begin with the fence and the cleaning. Your people came out last week and told us that not only that phase 1 is done, that you are going to start phase 2, which is the inside, to complete the inside, but you are begging for money. My question is, why are you begging for? Is it for the new building or the old building? Which is it? Now, shed a light. The sound might be messed up, but at least we can get through the night. And Satan, I bind you up. I rebuke you in the system. The system shall work tonight. I declare it and I decree it in the name of Jesus. So be gone. In Jesus' name. So, we are not fools. All the smoking, the smoke screens and the jazz to cover up all the deficiencies at the passport office, the deficiencies at St. Jude's on our roads, a 2.5% levy you said on health care and security. Why are you begging when you're taxing the people? And how long would you bleed the people of St. Lucia? That's the question. You said that the people who are protesting outside, you, Mr. Prime Minister, you said that the people who are protesting outside are disgruntled because they lose. Nothing else. I'm going to remind, and I want you to share this, but I want to remind the Labour Party. And let me see if I can find it. I'm going to remind you, sir, and the buck stops with you, Mr. Pear, as the leader. Not with Richard Frederick, not with King, not with all the others or the Speaker of the House. It stops with you, sir. So I'm going to address you tonight. Okay? So let's go. And by the way, it's my constitutional right to address you, because the Constitution gives me the privilege to petition my government. The Constitution gives me right as a public figure with a broadcast network, registered broadcast network, to be part of the checks and balances of government. So, sir, I am protected just like you are. So I hope that you can educate your followers that I am not a house slave to anyone. My genuine intention is to aid in the development of the nation. So I am not a house slave. I am not a retiree, an old retiree that is disgruntled because they have lost their teeth, or they have lost their vision, or their hair, or they have arthritis in their knees. I am not a pensioner, even though I've lost some tooth. But I am not, even though I've lost my hair and my vision. I am not. I am speaking because each citizen must speak up to aid in the development of their nation. So you will trust this process tonight, that the intention is for us to aid. And I will say to you, you guys are making some serious blunders in leadership. You are misreading the citizens of St. Lucia. You are taking the opposition voices for granted. You are taking the voices of the citizens who came out today for granted because you call them old, disgruntled, because they lose an elections, because they are house slaves. You, sir, that's how you've calculated the movement of the opposition for the last few months. From the convention to today, you are misreading, sir, and you are missing a fundamental lesson in politics. But I will teach you one or two tonight. But we're going to talk tonight. Tag your friends, tag a hack, and let's get to work. Now, we don't have a perfect system tonight. It will get perfect. It will hold out tonight. But use the star system, people, so that we can get a stronger computer to do the work that we have to do here. I have put out thousands of dollars to get this thing set up. Folks cannot just enjoy free media and say, well, let's use them as much as we can and then throw it aside or refuse them after. No, that's not going to work. All of us must get involved. I'm not asking you to buy coffee or to buy peanuts. I'm not doing that. All right? Most of you would see the sacrifice that many of us are out here. I have gone through hell and back. They call the church. They try all sorts of things. They accuse me of not being a preacher, of stealing, of not going to school. They accuse me of a lot of stuff. So just give me some time tonight to air, to vent, and to talk to the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, if you may allow me the opportunity. All right? Some of us like too much freeness. Beverly, thank you. You just wet my throat. So I'm not going to cuss anybody out again. Just kidding. That's 200 stars is $2, and that's good. It goes a long way. Let's get to work. So let me remind the Labour Party of a mistake that they made. A mistake that they, not me, they made this fundamental mistake that they were warned about. You see, the problem is when you listen to your own strategists, and you listen to your own professionals, engineers, you listen to your own media people. When you listen to your own people, you find yourselves being out of touch with what is happening, the actual reality of what is happening on the ground. Yes, It's the truth. That's the danger that even the United Workers' Party cannot make. It is time for us to stop listening to our own people and listen to others. Just like I did, I wrote everything, all the negatives down. I wrote all the negatives down, all the negatives from the lives today. Very nasty. You cannot listen only to yourself. You will be out of touch. The SLP, listen to their analysts. They listened. Thank you, folks, for the stars. They come in nicely. They listened to their own analysts, political analysts. They listen to their own NBC. They listen to their own bloggers and talkers and say, yes, 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 we are doing well. And they were out of touch. And here they're making the very same mistake. And that mistake, it cannot be corrected at this point. That mistake is going to lead St. Lucia into a new government. And I'll show you why. I'll show you why. You cannot correct the damage that has been done. No, it's too late. Because you made this very mistake before. Very mistake. You made this same mistake with Alan Chasney, you know. And I'm going to remind you, very same mistake. Let's get to the point. Let's get to work.
Joseph, who had predicted that the then incumbent SLP of Dr. Kenny Anthony would have won 11 to 12 seats, said money likely played a role in the UWP's 11 to 6 win. Dr. Joseph is a native St. Lucian, now living in Barbados, serving as the head of the Department of Government, Sociology and Social Work at the Cave Hill campus of the University of the West Indies. Dr. Joseph says he has difficulty comprehending how St. Lucians chose Alan Chasney over Dr. Kenny Anthony, who, according to him, displayed superior leadership skills and whose party presented the better candidates. Pollster and political analyst Peter Wickham says the SLP was simply out of touch.
The St. Lucia Labour Party was clearly out of touch with the reality of St. Lucia, and I certainly can only hope that they will learn some important lessons from this exercise. That it's probably better when you feel or you're told that you're out of touch to regain that connection with the people, as distinct from just trying to carry on as though, you know, the person who tells you that you're out of touch is doing something wrong.
Following the defeat at Monday's polls, the leader of the St. Lucia Labour Party, Dr. Kenny Anthony, announced his decision to step down as party leader and to not serve as the leader of the opposition. Wickham called it an excellent decision, which will pave the way for the party's restructuring. I
do believe that Dr. Anthony should probably have done this before. When the party regained office, that he should have looked towards the post-2011 period as a time to reconstruct the party and also to look towards succession planning. He didn't. Now he's been excused from office. I think it's an excellent idea, and it gives the St. Lucia Labour Party the opportunity to spend this next 5 years rebuilding itself. So he's saying that I'm willing to give up the leadership of the political leadership of the party, leadership of the opposition. The political party in Parliament can look for a new person, or alternatively they can look outside of Parliament. But the point is that he gives his party the opportunity to live and breathe, and I think that is an excellent decision that he's making. If he holds to it, then the St. Lucia Labour Party can avoid a lot of the confusion that beset the United Workers' Party when it was in opposition.
Meanwhile, new Prime Minister Alan Chasney was sworn in on Tuesday, the 7th of June 2016. He's currently in discussions about the makeup of his cabinet. Lovely St. Amy Joseph, NBC News.
So there you have it, folks. Very, very same mistake that we're seeing. Miscalculating what is happening, out of touch, not listening to the voices of the people. And my admonition to you is you keep not listening. Now, I understand that there is a mini bug under our life. Tonight, we have zero tolerance for mini bugs. So I will say, if one of you can spray it for me, then I would be very happy tonight. So any one of you who have big on, don't use bazooka like the speaker said. Use a big on, and let's get everything nice, get all insects away from the platform. Let's get to work, my people. So there you have it, miscalculating. Nothing new. Nothing new. Nothing new under the sun. They're just a bunch of disgruntled fools. That's all they are. That's all they are. Nothing to see here. Don't listen to those fools online. Keeping noise every week. These are the same people, by the way, who kept even more noise than us. Just a few years ago, 2 years ago or so, they kept more noise than anything else, than anybody else. More noise. But now they're saying to you, you're disgruntled. So I would say, Mr. Prime Minister, you keep going that way. You keep calling them old people with arthritis. And you're not young at all. Remember that. All right? So let's go to an e-poll. Let's go to an e-poll by HTS. We come in, folks. We come in. Let's go to an e-poll by HTS News.
Hello, I'm Joachim Duplessis. Welcome to the HTS e-poll. It's your opportunity to weigh in on the most pressing issues of the day. The suspension of opposition leader Alan Chasney from attending Parliament pending a withdrawal of allegations of corruption and an apology has been lifted. The opposition leader walked out of the House during the proceedings dealing with his allegations, with the police ordered not to allow the opposition leader to leave the House before the Speaker had ruled on the matter. Chasney, who has taken the matter to court, claims that he is being unfairly targeted by the Speaker and says he will not be silenced as his actions are aimed at preserving St. Lucia's democracy. Those critical of Alan Chasney's behavior in the House says he is demonstrating contempt for the Speaker and Parliament as he did with all other speakers and Parliament when he was Prime Minister. So we ask, do you have a positive impression of opposition leader Alan Chasney's conduct in the House of Assembly? We took to the streets to get your opinion, and here's what you had to say.
Well, you see, Brother Chas, you see Uncle Chas, we rate Uncle Chas, okay? And we can't wait for elections to come to give that guy another chance, okay?
I cannot have a positive impression of Alan Chasney in the House because he hasn't left any positivity for me to have an impression outlook on him. The fact of the matter is Alan Chasney supposed to be a leader and leader uplift, but he drags us down into all kinds of unnecessary mess.
Kay palama ile pu bugla ki yokakuye ki monina Claudius Claudius Francis la by Mr. Chasney chancely pour parler à the house là, OK? Bon. Mr. Chasney a fait tout bayan ici qui bo bay tout monde.
Évidemment, ouais, nous avons un site ici posé là, parce que dans le temps fait, je fais plus respect ça, so qui laisse qui chasse nous. So tout le monde disait va chasse, so bah nous la chasse les. Because you only 15 tout. So si là, you ne buy respect et il buy respect. Non, si you pas buy respect, il pas faire pièce chasse pour caler comme parce qu'il toujours dans le quartier. Because you pas faire nous qui out dans public là savent comment le parlement est, because le parlement c'est un gouvernement, nous pas savent comment le parlement est, because tout le monde qui là c'est power yo vle. Quand il fait Drix, jump par la vie, jump par la fait tout ce bagage à faire avec Jordi, il still vie against même ces monde ça. So il parle politique c'est ici mais est-ce que ça ramène nous encore man.
Moi impression moi c'est as a leader, il supposé respecter tout le monde qui house là. Because là my mind, là les monde qui avait c'est opposition party, il supposé plus respect by ces monde house là, c'est pas dans vous quoi monter accorder c'est lui qui met.
En cas parlement chasse n'est pas ni assez respect. Speaker of the house là ni bo by chancely. Richard Frederick, my
impression is that this man has literally no respect for the city he represents. Regardless if you're party in power or not, there is procedures for the institution that you're in. There's steps, regulations, rules, everyone's supposed to follow it. right? You know when you're right, you know when you're wrong. And he has absolutely no respect for what he's done and what he's doing. And I think he needs to be made example of for the way he handles the city.
Now, let's just take this slowly, especially this guy, right? He said that Mr. Shastner has been disrespectful and he said a lot of stuff. I am not sure if he's watching the same man that I'm watching. I am not sure if he's watching the same, what can I say, the same house sitting like you and I. But I am listening to him and I am going back in my mind to previous house sitting, and I'm confused, honestly. I am really confused about some of these comments. Now, let's listen to him again, all right? Let's listen to this gentleman again. Yeah, just listen to him.
To follow it, right? You know when you're right, you know when you're wrong. And he has absolutely no respect for what he's done and what he's doing. And I think he needs to be made example of for the way he handles the seats that he represents, the constituents that he represents, and the party as a leader of the opposition.
Well, when your positive impression about Mr. Shastner House of Assembly, because my way can't find wrong.
His contribution in the House? Not really. His performance so far has been nothing short of comical. And I feel sorry for his constituency.
There is positive and negative in everybody. But when you look at Shastner himself, Shastner is a bad example for every other politician, and Shastner makes every politician look bad in the House. Because Shastner, I think it is really have to do with I'm brought up C, and the way you were brought up. And Shastner do not have brought up C.
So now, here's another person, Mr. Eric Celestin, from the Valley in Dennery, saying that Mr. Shastner have no brought up C. In other words, his family, his mother and his father, did not bring him up the right way. He have no home training. That's what you call brought up C in broken English. I'm not sure if brought up C is a word. I know when we were young, those were just, them old people would say brought up C and stuff like that. I'm not even sure. All right? But based on what Eric is saying, that Mr. Shastner, based on his actions in the House, acts like a spoiled child. He have no brought up C. So let's go back to this clip.
He behaved like a spoiled child. No mommy, I'm not doing that, and that type of attitude. But Shastner need to realize that the House is governed by laws, it is governed by rules, and it is not by how you feel and how you see things, and because you want it that way, that is how you must get it. That is not how it is.
So let me remind Eric Celestin, and I met him when I was there in St. Lucia. Let me remind Eric that he said absolutely nothing. Nothing at all when Mr. Pear disrupted the House sitting. Umpteen times. The SLP walked out over and over again. Mr. Pear said, y'all can't do me nothing. I tell you all that already. Y'all can't do me nothing. In disrespect to the speaker. Interrupted her. She could not have gotten a word in. Mr. Celestin and other supporters said absolutely nothing. But I am glad that they have found Jesus somewhere, and they are now holier than thou, and so they can now lecture on civility, ethics, dignity, respect, and Christianity, because all of the SLP ministers and supporters are now better Christians than Christians themselves, real Christians. All of them now have found some holier presence in their lives. So what was once wrong, what is now wrong for Chasney, what was wrong for them is now turned around topsy-turvy. So the whole idea of a man cursing an F word in the house ain't no outrage, nothing to see here. The man is one of us, he can curse when he wants. This minister of government can go into police officers' face and disrespect them, disobey their orders, bullying people on the streets, going after them, to fight them. Civility and brought up C is now in the question. But I will show you all who don't have the brought up C and who don't have the manners. Let's go forward. Mr. Celestin, take your time and go ahead. Another one.
By the look of things, and he's not acting like a leader. The last few days he's been walking out. The last time he had to walk out of the house, he's acting like a spoiled kid.
So here's the talking point. Now we know where that talking point comes from the SLP leaders. That's the talking point. You heard it today. They kept, what they're trying to do is to paint a narrative about him. They're trying to dirty him, to paint an image of him out there that is so bad that it will confuse the voters. That's all it is, part of the political game. You try to throw as much mud on your opponent that you can, you're trying to slow him down in his track. So here is everybody now repeating the same talking point. Now remember, Eric speaks about, and there are different locations. This person don't know Eric, I'm sure. But you hear Eric, spoiled child. You heard it in the house, spoiled child. Now you hear this gentleman, spoiled child. The SLP, these guys know how to play the brain game. The psychological warfare that is being launched out there, even against Mr. Chasney. And I'll show you why what happened in the house today took place in the house today. I will show you why. But let's listen to this brother.
No, he doesn't set no example for the other opposition.
No example.
There, you understand? So I don't think he's a good candidate for the house.
Okay, so let's just remind the gentleman that Mr. Chasney is not a candidate. He's the leader of the opposition. And he's the representative duly elected by the people of Mico. So he's not a candidate. And I'll tell you, and I'll show you who have no respect for anybody. Don't mind some of them pretending they're apologizing and they're playing, it's a psychological game. Them fellas cuss like sailors. Them fellas say the most ridiculous things about persons when the mics are off. Civility? These guys are a bunch of hypocrites. That's the definition of a hypocrite. It's like you have a Christian telling you, if you eat pork, you're going to hell. But when nobody is around, you come here tell me cochon, let you can dummy, you can huff, cochon. So this is the definition of a hypocrite. These politicians, breed of politicians that we have now in our society. Let's take this call. Caller, you're on the air. Caribbean American News Network. Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Brother Gassin, don't upset my soul tonight. And not me alone, your viewers too. Where you get these morons from?
We mean I upsetting your soul?
Because that idiot you show that cannot even speak proper English. I don't come on that show there to view that idiot.
Listen, may I plan my show, and if people getting upset over it, what can I do?
That idiot. He's an idiot. They're not even in touch with what's going on in the country.
That's right.
They only say what they only repeat what they hear people say. They're not in touch with what's going on. They're just like that moron that teaching at Kedu campus. Are you serious? Are you serious? Yeah.
Yep.
A whole bunch of idiots coming in and talk nonsense about Alan Shastney. Alan Shastney is a real son in their behind.
Mm-hmm.
And Alan Shastney will be back. A little match, not even a match, a little walk. They all upset. Harris. And what did the idiot Prime Minister say? How he called the women, all women following who? Following Alan Shastney, that's what he said. He called them all women.
Yes, a bunch of old women.
All women. These were the same old women they made race with Alan Shastney on election day. They went and picked them up way early before Alan Shastney came, right? Mm-hmm. They had vehicles racing these same old women. But you know what? The old women, we will show them at the polls. That's where we're going to show them at the polls.
Oh, yeah.
The same old women.
The old women will be their downfall. The old women will be their downfall.
Okay, let me tell you, we need to replay this clip of Philip J. Pierre.
But you're telling me we upsetting your spirit when we play the clips, and now you're telling us to play it?
No, because I was
Look, I confused me.
the old women to her.
Oh, the old women.
The same old women they went to take to vote. I want the old women to her. Right? I want the old women to her. How we call them? All women. Are you serious? We will teach them a lesson at the polls. And they're coming today in the house about respect. We have that idiot, what's his name? Hile, the church breaker, talking about respect. I am even upset with the leader of, how you call it, the Christian Council.
Oh, yeah. All these guys are not.
My archdeacon sat in this honorable house with this idiot listening to that.
He's your archdeacon?
Archdeacon. This is my archdeacon. I'm an Anglican.
Are you Anglican?
Yeah.
He's
the leader of the Christian Council.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Well,
he's in charge, as far as I know, in charge of Christian Council. Wasn't he the one sharing the prayers or whatever? You sat there listening to these guys disrespect the leader of the opposition. Then on Sunday you'll come and say, pray for the leader of the opposition. Pray for the prime minister.
Well, is your church people, not mine?
Well, my church people.
Yeah, you got to call them and talk to them.
I need to send that clip to my bishop.
Yeah, talk to him, man.
Yeah, I know they'll be upset with me, but let me tell you, I couldn't be better. This is my country, and I love my country, and I do what it takes to support them in the right way. If it was Alan Shastney that was going bad or doing the wrong thing, I would call on Alan Shastney the same way. Right?
You have to. You have a responsibility to do so.
Yes, we all have a responsibility. We all have our responsibility. And I'm seeing that devil sitting right there behind Philip J. Pierre in all her red, and sometimes our own people scared to put a yellow shirt on them. Did you all see the devil in the house with her red underneath the black? I don't feel sorry for these
how there
people.
was a devil in the house when your archbishop was there?
That's what I'm asking myself now. I need to ask myself a lot of questions now.
So, what are you saying? Up there's hell?
well, you realize that good people walk out of hell.
Okay, so they are shy de mula.
Well, I'm not shy de mula. You realize the leader of the opposition walked out and Bradley walked out. They did the right thing.
Too much fire in hell.
Yes, Claudius. Claudius Francis, you will go. Claudius, you have to go. Claudius is just a matter of time. We need to sign another petition for Claudius to go and take it to how you call this gentleman?
Who's that?
We need we need Mondesi to go to, you know.
Oh, Mondesi?
Mondesi needs to go. The Attorney General.
Attorney General, yeah.
He needs to go.
Listen,
the Attorney General needs to go.
It's just a matter of time,
Leslie
man.
Mondesi. Leslie, let me tell you, it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. Hey, we're praying. Anyway, let me give somebody else a chance to make their contribution.
Okay, but call your Archbishop and tell him anytime he go back to hell that he should, talk to them fellas.
Hey, let me delete my Archbishop.
Yeah, all right. Okay, folks, that was an interesting call. The call starts saying, upset spirit where spirits and viewers. So I don't know what to say, folks. All right. So let's continue and then we get in there. Don't worry, folks. Stay with me. Let the fellas finish
talk. I have a positive
talk.
impression about him, but he needs a little more respect as the prime minister he was the prime minister in the past. So he should know better than all the others. He should, because he's the leader, and we looking at him as a role model, and we seeing him he disrespecting the the person in the house, the Speaker of the House, and that's not a good thing.
Well, definitely not. I think from the onset, Mr. Chasney missed how many sessions of Parliament. I don't think he has worked for the salary that he's been earning.
Thanks for those responses. Now to our new discussion. The situation at the
So, Shasta have a vote for his money. Boy, I am telling you, these people are serious, And I know why I'm playing them back. I know why I'm playing. Let me remind you folks. Let's go back. Let's remind the people, man. Let's remind them. Let me just reload a page here that I had queued. But Satan, your rebuke, this is not the house.
Reiterate my point. And to say that the only thing the Constitution says is that no business can be transacted if there is not a speaker. There is a speaker presiding today, and we will continue because no member has seen it convenient to nominate. It is the business of the government, it is the business of the independents, it is the business of the opposition to make sure that the structure of Parliament is in place. We shall continue with the business of the House. Honorable members, I took the... Fine, it is here. Fine.
Legal.
Fine.
No, I told you. Now, the bishop who is in the house need to talk to them fellas and remind them that they have a lot of sins that they have not confessed. Because Joachim Henry from my church, I'll deal with him because he's from my church. Joella can deal with her archbishop from her church. All right? So let me deal with Joachim. You give a beautiful speech about civility and things people are saying when the mics are not on. You were sitting right there when Mr. Frederick used the F note. You were there. All right? So that makes you a hypocrite. 2, look at your boys. Look at your boys. Let me put them up so you can see them. Look, Laverne, Shirley, Moore, Larry, Tom, and Jerry. Look, all of them there. Look at them. Now, the speaker, she's speaking female, makes it worse. You have to respect the sister when she's speaking to you. But, oh no, Mr. Henry, You found religion all of a sudden. After you went into the church and disrupted it, you have not made a public apology because Mr. Pear came and defended you, sir. Mr. Pear came and everybody, the Speaker of the House, everybody came and they got your gun and they treated you with nicely. You did something beautiful. We will stand by Mr. Henry. Being an outlaw, we will stand by him. But here Mr. Henry have found salvation. Now, Mr. Henry, I don't say he drinks, but he should not be drinking. He should not be partying, period, as a Christian. No, he should not be doing those things. Mr. Henry, I would consider you to be a hypocrite. Because if you want to talk about civility and who has bad manners in the house and disrespect the speaker, all you have to do is look behind you. Look on your side of the aisle. And you will see Laverne, Moore, Shirley, Tom, and Jerry. Bugs Bunny is much smarter than that. All Bugs Bunny does is eat his carrot. So I'm not even going to call you Bugs Bunny. But I know there's Laverne and Shirley, Larry, Moore, and Curly. Yeah. I don't know what to say. But Mr. Henry, all you have to do is look at your boys. And you know that, you little hypocrite. I found you out. I saw you in the house today. I saw you giving a beautiful speech. Folks, I am telling you, what happened today was psychological warfare. Some of you got angry and getting all bent out of shape. You do not understand the war here. You don't understand this. It is what they're doing is trying to inflict maximum damage to the opposition because these guys have strategized at meetings. These guys are seeing that if they only continue with the suspension of Mr. Chasney, it will be bad publicity. It will be bad for them during elections. And how did they came to that conclusion? They saw, one, the United Workers' Party uniting around Mr. Chasney. They saw the voices of the United Workers' Party getting louder and louder and louder. And they know that the United Workers' Party, they're not parties that have burned anything down. They're not parties that have cut people's banana and burned their sheds. The United Workers' Party, they're not associated with Plywood City. They know that. They know that the United Workers' Party, they are not associated with organizing march during COVID-19 in the middle of a pandemic. They know that. So now you are getting scared because you hear the voices are rumbling louder and louder and louder. And so you calculate, you made a calculation. Folks, we got to get Mr. Chasney back in the house. So you run to the court and you say, court, no, please, don't take us further. We don't want to go any further. Please don't take us further in court. We will deal with it. We were coming to bring him back in. We had already made a decision. The same day I said it, I made a decision. I said, what about the people of Miku? Larry? Mr. Larry? I was concerned about the people of Miku. You are the one who asked the Speaker of the House, little hypocrite. You are the one, Shirley, who asks the Speaker of the House, you got to advise us, Mr. Speaker, as to, the member have to apologize and you have to take back the statement. But you, Mr. Speaker, you will be guided by you. You are the one, and after you were guided by the Speaker, you did not correct the Speaker, You didn't say, Mr. Speaker, let's leave the member. Let's not go there, Mr. Speaker. You voted yes. Only to say to us, well, I'm the one who said, let's think about the district he's representing. Let's not do him that. Shirley, you said it. You said it, Shirley. I heard you. You were the one who put the motion. And by the way, the Speaker is the one who actually took what you were saying and fixed it and had you guys to vote on it. So Shirley, don't come with this kind of sanctimonious thing about you were so concerned about his district. If you guys were concerned about his district, you think you would be disrespecting him like that? When you guys are confused, you say you bring him back because of his constituency. Now you're saying you brought him back because of the privileged committee. You can't take him to the privileged committee if he's not in the house. You guys are confusing. Which one is it? Which one should we believe? Back to Mr. Joachim Henry. We'll deal with Shirley at the appropriate time. But sir, Henry, come on. If you're going to be a hypocrite, be a good hypocrite. I'm telling you, if you're going to be a hypocrite, be a good one. Don't come and play like, Mr. Shastner told me that if I go in, if he sees me in a church, that he will run. Makakui too. Disrespectful. The fella speaking his mind, and most St. Lucians would agree that if they see you coming into a church, ekfijayo messed up, you can't cooey because they don't know who you're coming for. You could be coming for them, you could be coming for the next rep sitting next to them. So Sebulakai Cooey Shastner said off the records that if I see you in a church, na cooey. Ou faz eu quero tima mai eu sei que hele eu hele ek vai go eu say broken let me say ish mo sa. Why would you go? Let me tell you, if you're smart, Mr. Henry, if you're smart, let me tell you, if you're smart, if you are as smart as you said you are, why would you go to your children and share with them something so negative that you were hurt by, and you have them crying in the house, all of them? Well, I'm just asking the question. Nobody cried when he walked into the church. Nobody cried. None of his relatives cried and said, "Stop, Daddy, don't go." He was accompanied by his wife. She came in behind the man in the church. None of his children or him were crying. All of a sudden, the man tell Mr. Shastner, just drop a little tip out for y'all. That's why I don't like y'all, guys. You guys like to give, but you can't take. Y'all like to give, but y'all cannot take. And it seems like all this, Mr. Shastner have to just tell you all two things, I see how he have you guys wrap around, tied up, bent out of shape. And by the way, some of you worse than old women. Some of you men. You're like too much row in the house. There's an old woman in the house there. Supposed to be a male, but female. Row, monsieur coton, row. Gasa, tout, let me say, parler, say row. A T-fam. A retiree là. So these guys are a bunch of hypocrites, friends. Oh, yeah, Mr. Shastner said, and I cry, my children cry. Oh, they cry so much. It's an emotional game on you people. If they love you so much, why they didn't cry for you when you walk into the church? Why? And why would you tell them, if you're a smart father, why would you tell them something so negative to make them cry? To make them cry. Poochie. She's man, I wouldn't come home and tell them. If somebody tell me something negative, like some of you tell me negative things online so much, pasta, tout kate betis, one put me with horns like a devil. Mad here, you think I would go and tell my daughter, come and see what they do, Daddy? I wouldn't traumatize her like that. You think I would? No, I would not. So my daughter will come crying, Daddy, look what I did, Daddy. And all of us crying like a set of clowns in the house. Like the three stooges in the house crying, look look at what they tell my daddy. Tell your daddy get out of the game if he can't take the heat. Tell them to cry when daddy's getting the big salary at the end of the month. Cry, go cry. Go to the bank crying. We come for the government money. Go cry when you get entertainment allowance. Go cry. You can't take fire and you're going in kitchen. You're melting like little butter. And cheap butter crying. I was so horny. Come on, pull up your pants and get to work, man. Work on behalf of the people of your community. Ulaka Hele. Look what he tell me. He tell me when the mic was off that if I go in a church and he see me, he will run. But I can't go in, but no. From our service, now she's going. I call this a demo when I go in, but no. Now don't come for me. So we got to go forward. So I'm just trying to debunk or debunks some of those hypocrites who plain self-righteous now. But let's go back to the clip so that we can remind Mr. Henry of his hypocrisy. That the same men he's sitting with are the men who are guilty of walking out the house. Now, if walking out the house was a crime, punishable by dismissal from the house, all of them fellas should be dismissed right now. Especially the Prime Minister. Reverend, I am telling you folks, if you are not strong, you're not willing to take the bad and the good in representing your people, don't get involved. And my advice again is if you are in government and there are private conversations that are detrimental, that will cause pain to your family, don't tell them. Anyway, let's go. Ulaka Hill. That's the Taliban's.
It is your right. Honorable member, it is your
Hit
right.
the desk.
I will stand and you'll have to put me out.
Pardon me? You will not sit. It is your prerogative to stand. Well, stand. I will continue with the business of the House. If you choose to stand, fine. Honorable members, I took the liberty to send a message of condolence on behalf of the Parliament to the Embassy of Cuba on Wednesday on the passing away of the Vice President, Council of State, Julio Casas Reguero. Statements by ministers.
Wait till I parle.
Papers to be laid.
Madam Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers.
Now, folks, let's balai some over tell me why. Because Stephenson King was the Prime Minister at the time. Stephenson King was the Prime Minister at the time when they disrespected the Speaker of the House. Guess what? The sergeants at arms, both policemen had to come close because them fellas were looking aggressive. They were looking aggressive, you know. The police guys had to come in, stand close. Stand close to them, you know. Whittler. I didn't see all this action with Chastney. But, St. Lucians, you guys are good. You're good on playing the hypocrite game. You're good. Huh? But we will debunk you all. Let's go. I know it.
Standing in my name. Renegades. Statutory instrument number 60 of
Honorable
2011.
Honorable Prime Minister. Honorable Prime Minister.
Incentives.
Allow the disorder to leave the chamber, please. If we have silence, an order from the members who will remain, then we will continue.
Do you guys realize that Emma Hippolyte, she was in red? There were some JDMs, a whole set of them I see walking out. This was a planned situation here, you know. Them fellas came there and they planned to disrupt the sitting, you know. You see all them fellas getting up to walk out also? It's all right. Vesa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're bowing. 6. It's all right. I know Ali.
A member was speaking on the floor and members are leaving in big noise and you call this order? It is not.
You just fair speaker de parler. The speaker's a bit noisy. Mama, big noise. Them fellas get up, disrupted everything. Big noisy. Now Mr. Shaston is the only one who got up and walked out. That's all he did, respectfully. No noise, no desert. He got up respectfully and walked out. These guys stayed in the house and disrupted in big noise, you know. Good as out, Vesa.
Order. It is not order. A member is on the floor and other members are talking over. No. You have chosen to leave the parliament. Sorry, sir. You have chosen to leave the parliament. Then I am going to allow you to leave.
Madam Speaker, before I leave, Madam Speaker.
Honourable member, I really need no additions.
Madam Speaker, I want to tell you, Madam Speaker, and the people of St. Lucia, that we must not, for convenience sake, use the Constitution when it is convenient to us. Madam Speaker, in this Honourable House, there are 9 government MPs. They have the majority. It has never been
Madam Speaker, on a point of order.
on this Honourable Madam Speaker, I am here with the same authority as him. So you can't
Okay.
to speak. Nobody, I am here with the same authority as all of them.
Honourable members,
parliamentarians.
Okay.
The people sent me here to speak on the business of the country.
And you
so
have
they can't tell me
spoken.
when to speak.
And you have spoken, and you are saying that it is not constitutional, and I am saying that I
They can't tell me to speak. They are
have
arrogant
the
and
authority to do.
disrespectful to the people of this
What do you mean, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Mr. Speaker, I realize for a long time you want to be part of that. Since when that's your role? Since when that's your role?
What? This shit, them fellas are bull-faced hypocrites, you know? But the truth is, you know, I don't know, but I would be scared. Si mo te ka vole, ek yo electe mo as a representative, but to a kind of Mark Pearson vole. Well, Mark will vole mo. Ek mo sa mo ha vole comme befe kabit moun. Oy, this year, Sabove. So today, everybody has been converted. The bad, the ugly, and everything else. Everybody good. All the honorable member did was walk out. Didn't disrespect anybody. He said, Mr. Speaker, I'm not going to withdraw. Speaker said, you're not going to withdraw? Because remember, the speaker fingers was on the trigger a long time, you know. He started with the man's salary. He started with the bazooka. He started with everything. Every situation, speaker hands on the trigger. So as soon as Mr. Shasta said, respectfully, the man said, no, I'm not going to take it back, Mr. Speaker. Huh? He said, I'm not taking it back. Guess what? Mr. Speaker pulled the trigger. He said, hey, members, I will pull standing order, blah, blah, blah. He called the number and he said, what is your wish? Mr. Shirley stood up and said, Mr. Speaker, you would have to advise us, but the member would have to apologize, and the member would have to take it back, and the member would suspend, and that is Shirley. But let's go back to let's go back to Tarzan. Let's go back to Tarzan. Swing call Tarzan.
Not one member found it convenient.
You can't do me anything. I've told you that. You can't do me anything. None of you. I've warned you about it. But that's why you refuse to want to stop being ministers. That's the problem. That's why you're ministers. Huh? That's not your business.
Honorable members, I would like to proceed with the business of the House.
That's why you need to be a minister.
So let me ask you all, just in the public, I just need your opinion, folks. Who have disrupted the House more than the Honorable Pear and his gangs? Who? Tell me. Think about it for a moment. Don't speak yet. Let's get back to Tarzan. He's still swinging. Swing call Tarzan. Adwale. Speaker call.
You're a prostitute in the country. You must not do that. This is not right. Because you have the majority, you do not want to let one of your members resign to allow the deputy speaker to go ahead. This is what happens to you, Madam Speaker. The House cannot meet. That can't be right. And I will stand up to speak up. It can't be right, Madam Speaker.
I believe it was everybody's
Cannot be
responsibility to make sure the structure
We must
of the
stand up for
Parliament
something, Madam Speaker.
is in place.
If
So everyone
there's
here
nothing you
is
can stand up
responsible.
for. There's no
Everybody
reason,
here
Madam
is.
Speaker. We must stand up.
Everybody
And
here
this
is
morning,
responsible.
I am standing for the rights of the people of St. Lucia, Madam Speaker, regardless of what these ministers say, regardless of how they use their majority, regardless of the things they will say about me. I'm standing up, Madam Speaker, for rightness.
Okay, we have heard your argument. Honorable Prime Minister, please continue.
I will not live in disorder. I'm going to live as a mark of protest, standing up for what I think is right.
Now Tarzan is, after Tarzan disrupt everything, Tarzan said he's not going to leave in this order or whatever it is. He said no, he's going to leave in protest. That's after he disrupt the whole session, you know. Bunch of hypocrites, I know, Ale.
Standing up for what I think the people of St. Lucia send me to the Parliament to do. I want to stand up, Madam Speaker. And if I'm the lone voice to stand up against victimization, I will do that, Madam Speaker. I will stand up against it. Because what's happening here is victimization. What's happening there is the prostitution of the Constitution of St. Lucia by a group of desperate men who want to stay in power. And regardless of what it's done, I think it's wrong, and I stand up for it because I know it's wrong, and I believe it's wrong.
Okay. Honorable Prime Minister, will you continue?
When we leave, Madam Speaker, all what they will do is they will continue to malign.
Tarzan is still disrupting.
To lie, they'll continue to disrespect, and hoping, Madam Speaker, that they can store some political points. I can't stand for it. I will not stand for it. And I want to go on record. Madam Speaker, as being the only one standing up against that rape of the constitutional solution.
Honorable members, I would rather you cease the response. Honorable Prime Minister, please continue. And let it be put on record that it was not convenient for anyone. No, not the independents or the opposition or the government. And so the business of the House will proceed, but I have given due notice that it will happen. It must be convenient.
Oh, hey. You all there? You all right there? You all right there? Bunch of hypocrites. As I said to you, friends, if I am a thief, I ain't calling nobody else a thief. You guys failed. You disrupted the house several times. Not only disrupted the house, you have disrupted the country. And I know you hacks or born again hacks. I know what's going to happen. You're going to say, no, that was right. That was right. He was right to do what he did. Mr. Shastner is wrong to just walk out peacefully. So, and I say to you, friends, guard your minds. Because this is a psychological game. It is what is called psychological warfare. And if you're not careful, you will fall for these nonsense that you see on social media. You will fall for it. You will fall for the government putting up fence and tell you that they have secured monies to start St. Jude's while they're asking Saudi Arabia to lend them some money, give them some money to build St. Jude and to fix the stadium. And my question still stands. Where is the plan for the St. Jude Hospital? We do not want to hear that we whitewash the hospital and we paint in the inside. Where is the approved plan for St. Jude's construction? The other question is, where is the rest of the fence to secure the new hospital? My other question is, where is the new permanent gate at the security booth for the hospital? You said to us that phase 1 is finished. So we are expecting that if you're doing phase 1, the exterior, that the walkway and the parking lots and everything else is already paved, and you do not have to work on the outside again because the outside is finished. So I would think that the outside of St. Jude's is going to remain white. I would assume that you are not going to paint the outside of the hospital because it's already painted in phase 1. Now you can guide me if I'm wrong. We need some clarity. The monies that you're begging, you're asking Saudi Arabia for, what are you planning to do with the money? You see, your problem is that you take the people of St. Lucia for granted. You give them pieces of information and allow them to speculate. And then when we speculate, you come in the house and call us liars. The opposition now got to figure out what you guys are saying. When he tries to figure it out and he questions you guys, you call him a liar. In the absence of information, people will speculate. Do we have money for St. Jude, for St. Jude's Hospital on hand? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, what are you going to do with the monies that you're asking for? If the answer is no, you have no money, how did you start phase 1, go into phase 2 with no money? I'm not going to say that you lied to the people and you mislead us as yet. Furnish us with the information that we need. Now, during the march today, there is something that I observed, and I am going to speak on it. Now, you SLP people, I'm going to warn you. You guys are miserable, and you like a lot of roro. I can see it. You call people names, you insult, you do a lot of stuff. I'm not saying that the UWP, they're all saint. The Yokota shy Roro too. And that's the truth. A lot of you like a lot of Roro. And Nape, we are name calling. You love it. I call names tonight because I'm having a little nice fun with Larry Moore, Curly, and Shirley. Those are nice names, by the way. Nice characters, ain't it? But I want to show you a picture of the march today that had me concerned. All right? Had me very much concerned. Here is a walk that was organized by the United Workers' Party. A peaceful walk. The intention was not to trouble anybody, not to cause disruption to anybody's life, not to heckle anybody. It was supposed to be a clean walk. Here is a miserable SLP coming on the scene, showing up in his red shirt, standing among the United Workers' Party supporters in his red. Tell me, why would you do that? Think about you having your convention and somebody shows up in their yellow, UWP shows up in their yellow and stands among you. Let me show you the picture. The back of it is dark, but let me show you. Did any of you observe that on your march, on the walk today? Because I picked this out. I had my contact on the ground sending me information, uploading stuff to me. Thank you, my contact. Do you see the red shirt? It's dark, but do you see the red shirt? Let me add the original picture. Wait till let me see. We're not going to be here long, but let's have the original picture. Okay, our system is acting up, but we can find the original picture. Move the original picture. Look. There's the original picture. Let me see if I can blow it up, if the system will permit me to blow it up. Not blow it up because we don't use dynamite. Look. The system is good. I like that. Okay, good. Wait till let me see. Now, the system, we do investigation on it too. Cyber investigations. Pariko, we outside. Look at it. What do you see there? What do you see, folks? I can't get the comments in real time. Something's happening. For some reason, the comments are not coming through. I will have to open a different system here. Right. Somebody say, "Road they like." Yes. Y'all see that? Now, you know who this guy is? His name is Eugene. Used to be on KKRR, giving everybody hell, even myself. You see where he is? Standing there with 8 of the UWP people. My question will be, what is he doing there? What is he looking for? Is he trying to aggravate the people? Is he trying to malmenate their civil? Why is he there looking for trouble? Was it a plan? A few of them would come around. I'm just asking questions. And the other folks didn't show up and left him in the clown show? Is that what it is? Why is he there? What problems is this man looking for? And I will ask the question again. Why is he there in the middle of the United Workers' Party walk in red? It is because he likes Roro. That's why. He is a stunt, a funny SLP supporter. strong. But here he is standing. Leave his bus. He's a bus driver. Left his bus. Walked all over from the market to there. Is it to just watch? All of a sudden you choose to put your red and to watch? Why? And that's what I say to you, friends. You got to be on guard. Be vigilant. Listen to me. You cannot let your guard down. Somebody said he's trying to register to switch to UWP. Not him. C'est pour ça qu'il m'a dit fait. You're pas swift. You're pas shift. Now, I had other presentations to make tonight, but let me just take it slowly, man. But the walk, I just want to discuss the walk quickly. Those of you who went out, good job. Peaceful, calm, you were excited, you had a passion, you guys were fired up. I say congratulations to the UWP. You guys are coming together stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. That's what we need in our democracy. A balance of power. The press, free press, the judiciary, separation of powers. We need a strong Speaker of the House that will respect the rights of parliamentarians. We need politicians who would let other politicians be. Especially in the house, on the market step, but when you're in the house, you're coming together to help with the development of the country. So it's not about you guys, one crying, the other one mad with Shasta because he didn't get to become prime minister or leader of the United Workers' Party, was defeated by him badly. Personal, everything that's going on. Mad because he feels that he was bad treated when he was in opposition. So everybody have this personal thing. So it's now not about the development of a country. It's not about the people, the development of the people. It's all about us getting revenge, getting back. And that's why I say to you, the only cure that the Constitution have given to you, the people of St. Lucia, is at the ballot box. It's not the only cure. I must correct myself. One of the most powerful tool out of the many that was given to you, St. Lucians, and listen to me, is at the ballot box. And two, protest actions. And the opposition is another powerful tool that has been given to you, the people of St. Lucia, to keep a government in check. It is called checks and balances. So don't let nobody tell you that we should get rid of an opposition, whether it's Philip Japet in opposition or Shastney. Don't let nobody tell you that you need to get rid of opposition. The government is not responsible to put pressure on the opposition. The opposition is responsible to put pressure on the government to act. But it's the other way around. Sometimes you feel that Mr. Shastney is in power. Sometimes you feel that Mr. Shastney is the prime minister, the way these guys going on in the house. These guys, like, they forget that they are in power. They are telling you that we won, but they don't really act like they won. Look, I heard Mr. Pear say, well, we're going to have a protest too. What are you protesting? Sorry. Sorry, folks. Your St. Lucia does make history, you know, man. Oh, God. Folks, you need a strong And any country with a strong opposition, it's a good country. Strong opposition in your democracy. It helps to control that power. So they say, well, we want to get rid of the opposition. We want all the seats. Solutions, you don't want that. I don't care who's in power. You do not want that. Because them fellas will walk in your skin because they have absolute power. You need a strong opposition. You must demand it. You must ensure that you have a strong opposition. And you should put nothing in the way of an opposition, whether SLP or UWP. You should put no stumbling block in their way, because they're part of the development of a nation. They're part of the governance of a nation. They are St. Lucians. They are citizens with right. You should never attempt to remove their rights or to stifle them or put them in a box where they cannot function effectively as an opposition. And I don't know if a lot of people can understand what I'm saying, but an opposition is healthy for your country. The stronger your opposition, it is the better. By the way, an opposition party should not be an obstructionist party. No, you don't criticize everything because you're opposition. If something is good, if there's a bill that comes on the scene and it's a good bill for the people of St. Lucia, you stand behind that bill. But to object because my opposition. No, you don't do that. But we saw the objection during the COVID-19. The rush for power during COVID-19. Where an opposition would have been stronger during COVID, coming together and saying we will stand with our government. We will help the government to get this right. Instead, there were objections, there were blockage, there were racist marches, protests, Black Lives Matters, Pink White Matters. Imagine Black Lives Matters with only one white man. Well, that's what they said. One white man in the house with his foot on the neck. That's what they said. A whole Black Lives movement in St. Lucia. Because of COVID restrictions. And now the chicken are coming home to roost or to hatch or whatever it's coming home to do or to sing. You can't function. You can't lead. You're confused. You act like you are in opposition. You're opposing the opposition. Brethren, I am saying to you, something needs to be done urgently going forward for good governance in St. Lucia. As I said, whether it's the SLP or the UWP, we need to do better in our politics. We need to do better in nation building. We must know better. Governing is not about name calling. Governing is not about only thinking about the next elections, how you're going to look. It is about leaving a mark behind. And whether you lose or you win, leaving a permanent mark. That when the tide of success comes up, that all boats will rise. Which means that the poor and the rich will benefit from the policies that you have sowed. Your number one priority is not to win elections. Your number one priority is to make the lives of people much better at the end of your service. But what you guys think is that you will live forever and that you're not going to have a legacy. You don't think about your legacy at all. I don't think so. The way you're acting, you guys are careless. You don't think about your legacy. How would my grandchildren look at me? How would the generation to come look at my leadership? If you would think that way, you would do better. Mr. Henry, good try, but that one wouldn't work. That cry story wouldn't work. You got to speak as Mr. Henry. You are a Christian. You should speak. You are supposed to be a Christian. You should speak to your people. You should speak to them and stop being a hypocrite. Speak to them. I dare you to go and tell Mr. Frederick to cool out. I dare you. You got to go and laugh with him and pat him on the back to tell him how great he is first, ain't it? I dare you guys to hold each other accountable and responsible. I dare you to lead. I dare you to lead us through high food prices and gas price and bad roads and no proper health care. I dare you to lead. I dare you to lead in job creation, factories, employment, wholesome employment, not temporary step programs, but wholesome employment for the people, the citizens of the country. I dare you to lead. And by the way, I will double dare you. And not only double dare you, I will challenge you to lead. I will challenge you to keep your eyes off of Mr. Chastain, because while you're watching him, time is going, it's fleeting away. And very soon you're going to wake up and say to us as a nation, you did not have enough time to fulfill all your agenda. And we will say to you, it's okay. We don't need your agenda anymore. We have given you enough time, and you have turned Mr. Chastain as your number one agenda item. And the people will say to you, no, you take a break, you're tired. We will get strong men and women who are focused on nation building. Men and women who are willing to change our educational system. Men and women who are willing to change the fabric and the structure of our society by being an example and not a hypocrite in these communities. We will choose a group of people who will not be willing to sleep with everybody in the community, but yet have their wives. Bunch of hypocrites. We will choose those who will tell us the truth. And if they're going to raise taxes to 2.5%, they will say to us that we got to put back that 2.5%. They will not henpeck us and make us believe that they're doing something else when they're raising VAT on us. They will not throw out 2 sheets of plywood and cement to try to balance the effect of the people rebelling against them with their high taxes. They will not fool the people. They will not bring foreigners, the Saudi Arabian, to the country to beg them for money for St. Jude's, when they have already told us that they have the money and they're in phase 1 and phase 2, they have a plan. You have no plan, because your plan must have money. If your plan is just to build and then to figure out how you get in the money, you are doing the very same thing that got us there in the first place. Paying as you go. No plan for the development of Beaufort. And we are yet to have any plans to develop Beaufort. We are yet to hear about that. And by the way, people are still dying of gunshots in St. Lucia. Let us not forget. Let us not forget that our prices, our food prices are still high, and higher than many other countries. Let us not forget that you have your husband and your wives who are home not working because they were UWP. Let us not forget that there's potholes everywhere. Let's not forget that our fisher folks are not getting the support that they should get from you. That'll be a $1 voucher. We will select, and by the grace of God, with every breath in my body, I will ensure that I will get smarter, I will get braver, and I will aid in the selection of better candidates. Godly men, not goggies, that can serve as Speaker of the House, Deputy Speaker, senators, embassy representatives in foreign land. We will bring, some of you need to go back home from these foreign offices. You have gotten too comfortable. and you feel like it is your place. Only your families can go to some functions. Only your families can get some benefits in a foreign country, or your cousin, or your best buddy. The other citizens have to catch their tail to get services overseas. And we will have a permanent passport office, an administrative complex, where you can come and get from your birth papers to your passports. We will take away the hassle of you running from building to building looking for government services. Take it away, man. Make things easier for the people of St. Lucia. Make things easier for them. It is time for St. Lucians to take their country back and do it prayerfully. Don't, all this emotional cussing off ain't going to help. I'm going to say it again. All the emotional cussing off ain't going to help nation building. All the rum drinking is not going to help. It's just a bunch of drunkards you're going to create. And a bunch of politicians who run after every dress that they see. Huh? That's all you're going to create. Some of you have no tolerance for Christianity. No respect for Christianity. None at all. And it shows in your action. When you're in the house, you turn Christian. When you're outside of the house, you're gone. You and Satan dancing like queens. Huh? Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me it ain't so. Bunch of self-righteous people. And wait. Let me tell you all something St. Lucia wants to do. Try this for me. Put the SLP in opposition and watch how they're going to act. Try it. All right? Just try it for once. Again. And let's see how they're going to act. If they will still remain righteous. Try it. Try it. Folks, I'm going to go. I got to manage my time wisely. I have a computer system to figure out how we're going to get this organized. And may God bless all of you. As you all stop drinking rum, stop cussing people off, and focus on the future. On your future and the future of your children. Because when you're drunk, you can get nothing done. And when you're sick at the end of your drunkenness, you get nothing done. And at the end of Carnival, you're more broke. Nothing is done. From one fete to the other. Nothing is done. Our schools broken. From one fete to another. Sickness. Death. And I predicted that bright lights will grow dim. And there are more bright lights that will grow dim. I predicted, I prophesied to you. I told what I saw. And I saw more. There are more bright lights that are going to drop. I predicted the death of permanent people in society. But you don't listen. Get it right. And that's all I got to say, folks. It is your choice. You want to take it or leave it. I'm here to help us to get better. I'm here to help us to change and be better citizens. Huh? I want to pray for somebody before I go, I want to pray for somebody before I go. For some reason, I want to pray with somebody because this might be the last voice you might hear. So I want to pray with somebody. I don't know what is happening. But let me just pray with you. My spirit is a bit troubled. That's true, friends. By the way, thank all of you for your prayer and your support at my graduation. I love you all. Appreciate you all. All right? Brethren, the reason why I'm here with you guys every night, I have a lot of stuff to do, folks. But I think about you. I think about you guys. I think about you. I go through all the curse and insults. I think about you. Oh, yes. Let me pray to you before you go to bed, because bright lights will go dim. I'm not saying all of you are, but some people don't like truth and righteousness. Cussing everything, they're there, yola. Wom, yola. We no moon, fam moon, yola. Yola. But when it comes to the things that matters to them, you got kui. Bright lights will grow dim. My prophecy is that it's going to happen again. Father, touch somebody under my life who have cancer, someone who might not make it tomorrow. Father, I ask that your Holy Spirit move on their heart, rebuke the devourer, bind up the evil forces of darkness from them. Help that no weapon formed against them may prosper. Every tongue that rises up against them in judgment shall you condemn, to the honor and glory of God the Father. Restore your joy in someone. Bring peace to the heart of someone. Oh, Father, there's a husband, there's a wife who's apart. Bring them together, Lord. There's a woman, there's a man who's interfering, Lord, in a relationship. Father, break it right now. There's a politician, Lord, who is cheating on his wife. Break it up, Lord. Expose it. There are families who are hungry, need money. Protect them. There is somebody who's going through some problems on the job. Somebody's trying to do you some harm. Father, we come against their plans right now in the name of Jesus. Rip it up, oh God. Cancel the assignment against them. We send it back to sender in the name of Jesus. Father, there's someone who is wishing bad for somebody's child. Intervene. There's a social blogger, oh Father, confusing the mind. Move by your Spirit. Reveal yourself right now. And let them know that you are God. Those who bless me, Father, will be blessed, and those who curse me shall be cursed. Thou shalt prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You will anoint my head with oil, that my cup will run over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, shall follow your people all the days of their lives, and they shall dwell in your house forevermore. Amen. Blessings to you folks. Blessings. I thought I would minister to someone before I go. So enjoy your night, and remember, Jesus loves you, friends. Go sleep. Amen. If your boyfriend not home yet, forget about it. Go sleep. Yeah. And women, I'll tell you something. If you have a husband or a boyfriend and he goes out, come back late at night, and is not work, close your shop. I'm going to say it again. Close your shop. Yeah. Close it. Close shop. You know what I'm talking about. Fermez la porte là. La porte où? Pas la porte chambre là. Fermez la porte où? Tell him nothing tonight. Uchekli? Because there are a lot of sickness, and some of you get a lot of demon possession through your fellas sleeping around, your women sleeping around. So honestly, listen to me. Fermez la porte là. Tell him you have a headache. Nothing tonight. Tell him you're not feeling good. You have to work early in the morning. Look for an excuse. I ain't nothing. 10 o'clock, you still out. What you doing out coming smelling like red roasty? They're smelling like kerosene oil on the people old house, in people old car. You can have diabetes. Uchekli? Nothing. Family potla yo. Yeah, man. Protect yourself. Don't let nobody come. You can about tout calte disease, tout calte de mouek by kon de le ou ka di oh, amon fè moi ça, tout le bagay mo try. I pa travail bon. Yeah, c'est non mou ki ka koy tout partout ka pou moun. See, let's say zombie you can put too. Power you tie you by huh? We Williams Femi Laporte. That's it. Nothing going on here. Who my lad? Where? Si ou wè yi vini la kayo on time early, then ou sa ouve la pot la, si ou ma ye. Me ferme la pot la man, 10 o'clock ou just ka vini ferme la pot. Ou ka di mo, you had an accident, te tout ka for ou mal like ba kon. Huh? Ferme la pot la. I don't know what Joseph is telling me. I just finished prayed and stuff. I don't know what I'm saying that's wrong, but it's time to close shop. Ferme la pot la. Ou check li? And dele la ne bagay zo a shy dis on pour di sweetheart moi ko ton me oni pour ali. Ou check li? Because in order for you to progress, to move forward, dele oni pour offload a shy bagay. Ou check li? Weight that easily beset you oni pour mette a sou kote. So that ou sa progrès, ou sa move forward a la vous. Ou check li? Mais tout me pou sa bon do swear. Femi la pot la. Like tout bagay ka all right. So as you go, let me just read comments, folks. As you go, let me just read comments. I can't even see a lot of the comments, but okay. Hilda, you'd say, forgive me, myself. Myself with Femi la pot. Elita, hey, good night to you. And Andrea, good night. Mathray, good night. For some reason, I just cannot see all the comments. All right. Folks, we finish, I'm just reading comments. I need to go over to the original chat to see what you're saying here. Okay. Alfred, good night to you. And Hippolyte, good night. Amen. Amanda, have a beautiful night. Peter, good night to you. Yes. Sorry. I hope I pronounced that name well. And Bastian, good night. I know the Bastian. Yes. Stephen, good night to you. Have a beautiful night. And Julia, good night. Amanda, good night, my friend. Yeah, come in. Beautiful night to you. Joseph, brother Joseph, good night to you. Joseph, I'm a little confused when you said okay, my brother, you just finished prayed. I'm not sure why you're saying that. I'm a little confused, so forgive me with that confusion. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Henry, night to you. Yes. And Pearl, good night. Good night. Good night. Okay, folks, so God bless you, and remember to be kind, be loving, be good, all right? And it will follow you. Blessings, folks. Femi la pot la.